All right, peace and blessings, everybody. This is our Historic Foundation. I'm going to send some invites out now. This is all a new platform for me, so everybody bear with me. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be concise. This is going to be a follow-up. I've done this debunk before a million times. I've done it for TikTok. I've done it for Instagram, and I've also done it for Facebook. So now I'm going to bring the same debunk to YouTube Live, and hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from and how I'm following up with these people. I'm going to give me 1 second. I'm going to send some invites, share this video, and hopefully everybody understands why I do what I do. And ultimately, just to give you a brief synopsis, I created a page that sort of follows up on a lot of these claims that are being made. And what we do is we check it for accuracy. We go behind these claims and we check them for accuracy. So I'm going to, let's see if I can find my page. Here we go. Hold on, guys. Let me see. I'm live now. Okay, and let's share this. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Right now. I'm live now. Okay, and let's share this. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Right now. I'm live now. Okay, and let's share this. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Right now. I'm live now. Okay, and let's share this. So like I said, this is all relatively new. So this is a new platform. So if I'm a little slow with sharing this stuff, I am getting the hang of sharing all this stuff. This is a little new, but I do think it's important to follow up on all these claims. So when these people make these claims, it's important that we know exactly what they're stating, right? So that's the goal of my page. I'm hoping that this we're all more informed. I do like the long, I do like the fact that I'm able to do long videos and cover more content. So that will be helpful. But once again, that's the whole purpose, is to share this information so that we all can follow up and be more intellectually vigorous. So I'm going to share this up for 2 more seconds. Bear with me. You're already on. Okay. All right. So I've shared this debunk on multiple platforms. I've shared this on TikTok. We shared it on Facebook and also Instagram. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show Dane Calloway. This is a Dane Calloway video. I'm going to do everybody. I'm going to do the Dane Calloways. We're going to cover the Karimos and all these people. I promise to be intellectually honest, to show what they're claiming, and then whether it's accurate. No spins, no funny stuff. We're just showing straightforward, following up on these claims for accuracy. I want everybody to listen well, okay? So this is going to be one of his recent videos, not so recent, on YouTube, and I'm going Instagram rather, but I think he also had a modified version on YouTube. And I'm going to share it right now. Okay.
Mullah, Spain. New Age man is focused on a.
Okay, and everybody, it's about 2 seconds. We'll go in. Okay.
The viewer's attention is focused on a picture of a copper-colored middle-aged man.
Sorry,
that appears
guys.
to be dressed as a sailor, being as though we can see that he appears to be occupying a sailboat with associates far off behind him. What's important to note here is that this image is a fresco-style painting that was created by an Italian painter of color named Domenico Zampieri between the years of 1628 and 1630. And according to Britannica Encyclopedia, Domenico was one of the, quote, leading practitioners of Baroque classicism in Rome and Bologna. This particular painting was completed during a time period where Domenico's works were considered to be quote, less acceptable by Rome, falling under heavy criticism by a few powerful dictators, which in turn forced Domenico to become, quote, a victim of systematic persecution. Persecution is synonymous with words like torture, mistreatment, bullying, harassment, or oppression. So in other words, Domenico began painting a lot of images over the years.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there. Okay, let's go back to the video. Okay. All right, so he said a lot, right? So he said that this depiction was Baroque. He said it was by a black painter in the 16th century. Very quick, very easy, very clear debunk. We're going to show who did this, when they did it. We're going to provide the actual artist's name, and we're going to go through all of this. So I'm going to share this right now. Give me 1 second, guys. And I promise I will get a little faster with this sharing. Like I said, this is a new platform, so this is a little different, but we'll get it. All right, so this is right here is it. This is the depiction that he was referencing. This is a picture of Columbus. It's called the Voyage of Columbus. It is an excerpt from a chapter in a book. Okay, so I'm going to show you the book. All right, so the book is called This Country of Ours. It is chapter 3 of This Country of Ours. Let's look and see what it is. So This Country of Ours is a children's pamphlet done in 1917 in the United States. It was for children to understand, to have a basic understanding of American history. And this is it right here. This is This Country of Ours. It was written by H.E. Marshall, Henrietta Marshall. She also did This Country of Ours France and This Country of Ours Germany. And he also did the illustrations for that as well, right? So this right here, once again, is, we can simply go back to that chapter and just to make sure we have the right picture. All right, hold on. Go right there. Try to get my finger on. Boom. Okay, and it was a chapter about Christopher Columbus's contact. And the style is called impressionistic. So what it's doing is when you have an impressionistic painting, it's going to highlight the darks. It's going to be very focused on warm colors. They were obsessed with brown. So a lot of times a person who was white is the color of a tree, almost like tree brushstrokes. That's one of the easiest ways to understand. So, but it's obsessed with very, very dark, exaggerated dark shadows. And people are often depicted a lot darker in impressionistic paintings because it's really highlighting and exaggerating shadows and exaggerating color saturation. This is not a black man by any stretch of the imagination, and it's not a Baroque style painting. It's impressionistic. It's done in the 20th century. And we can do a little brief thing on the author. Let's go share who the author is. The author, we just saw his name, and let's see who he is. So this man is called A.C. Michael. Okay. Just do a little. All right, so I'm going to pull it up. This is A.C. Michael. He was a illustrator in the early to mid 20th century. He did a lot of work. His early work consisted of this. And right here, you can see very clearly, he did Henrietta Marshall's. Let me see if I can highlight this for you guys so we can just zoom in. Henrietta Marshall, This Country of Ours France. It was also an American version done in 1919. So it's Henrietta Marshall's. He did a history of France, and he also did a a history of Germany as well. And this country of ours, United States, was the most recent that he did illustrations for. But he this is the man right here. It is not Domenico Zampieri. This is the man right here. His name is Arthur Cadwin Michael. Right. So we just got to be very clear about what's being put out here by this Abo gimmick. These people are obsessed with these alternate stories, but then when you follow up on these stories, they're not accurate. It's just a gross misreading and misrepresentation of history. It's irresponsible, and these people need to be held accountable for these claims, right? So I'm going to let this video play a little bit more, and then we're going to follow up. Okay, so I'm going to share this again. All right. So right now we just heard him make a claim about this being a Baroque style painting. We all know that it's an excerpt from a children's book. We know the illustrator's name. Let's follow up and hear some more of these claims.
That showcased brown-complexioned Europeans of royalty all throughout Europe and other surrounding islands. And someone or some bodies had issues with these paintings becoming more and more favorable over time for some strange reason, which eventually led to many of his paintings being reproduced by select artists to favor pale-faced individuals as people of royalty in Europe. And this also led to Domenico's sudden death, dying no less than 10 years after publishing his most criticized works at the age of just 59. This fresco-style painting is a depiction of a Spaniard-Italian navigator or explorer, originally known as Cristoforo Colombo of Mula, Spain, but now known as Christopher Columbus of Genoa, Italy. He is dubbed as the discoverer of the Americas. Keep that in mind.
Okay, all right. So once again, we like to follow up with claims. I like to be very specific. 59 years old, by the way, is a long life in the 16th century. But once again, we're not dealing with 16th century art. We're dealing with a 20th century illustrator. We have the children's pamphlet that this came from. So this is just a misrepresentation of history for sensationalism. I guess that story is better than the actual story that occurred. So that's what he's driving home. It's just not true, right? Let's follow up and let's look at the artist he's claiming this is. All right. So let's look at the artist he's claiming. He's claiming it's a certain artist from this 16th century, 17th century, and let's look and see what his work look like. All right. And this is Domenico Zampieri. All right. And that's it. This is him. This is his work. So it's very dramatic. You can just tell it's a different time period, the way it's done. A lot of this work was done for the religious, for the church, for the Pope. You can see the topics, and it's no picture of Christopher Columbus, obviously, right? So this is some of his work. This is the artist. This is so we know the difference, right? Domenico Zampieri. All right, this is some of his work, y'all. All right, this is a total different artist, and this is what we call Baroque style painting. It's way different than what you're seeing in terms of brushstrokes. What you're looking at in terms of impressionistic is done 50 years into commercial photography, so they're no longer just trying to have depictions that are hyper realistic. They're really playing into those brushstrokes, bold brushstrokes, dark, rich colors. This right here is a little bit more dramatic. All right, and it's just a different time period. So whenever you see this style of artwork, this is what we call Baroque style painting. Okay, that's Baroque style painting. This is a misrepresentation of history. This is the topics that he covered. He did not do a impressionistic style painting of Christopher Columbus. All right, that's just a gross misrepresentation of history. And you can look and you can see this is a lot older. Primarily at that time, most of the artworks were religious themed. All right, so whenever you see this, this is Baroque. And they're definitely not painting themselves black. All right. So I just wanted to make sure we all see that. It's obviously an agenda to show this alternate view of history that's just not accurate. We got to be accurate about what this stuff is. So once again, I'm going to zoom right back into Arthur C. Michael's depictions so we can make sure we know, because he did a little series on this. He just ran with that theme, and I want to make sure we all know exactly what we're looking at, how this is a misrepresentation of history. All right, so I'm going to open that one up one more time. Okay, so we can just make sure you see this right here, that you know what we're looking at. All right, that's it. Okay, that is not the same artist. This is a different style of artwork. It's totally different, and it is from the 20th century. Okay, so that was the first video that he just grossly misrepresented history in a very irresponsible manner. I want to also follow up. He did a couple videos that really got me offended, so we're going to do a couple, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I just want them to, so we can just see this is a person who really was responsible for really pushing this theme, this Aboriginal theme. And I just don't think he's been held accountable the way he should be held accountable. All right, so I'm going to once again share my screen right now. And you gotta bear with me, y'all, because I'm a little rusty with this. All right, let's go through this now. This right here. Okay, so I want to just follow up and let's do another video where he's making these wild claims. Okay. All right, this is another one. He's making a wild claim. And this is what I thought was really ironic. He did this before. So this right here, he actually has the right artist. He has Arthur Michael, 1919. Right? So he knew the artist the whole time. And everybody can see that? He knew the artist the whole time. But he misrepresented the artwork from the same book, by the way, and the same author, and then said it was a Baroque style painting. So we can understand the level of historic integrity he's working with. He's deliberately misleading people, because he says it right here. This is prior to the video, and it's clear as day. It's 1619 depiction. It is chapter 4 of This Country of Ours. It's chapter 4. So if I was to share right now, you'll see clear as day. This chapter 4 where they make contact. We'll follow up with that in a second. And like I said, I want to make sure that we see that this stuff is just being pushed and it's not historically accurate. We gotta hold these people accountable. That's my main thing. I want everybody out here critically thinking, but we just gotta have historic integrity. This matters. So I'm gonna share one more video before we go. I apologize, guys, for not having that video ready. Let's see. Hold on. I thought it was. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. This is. Here we go. So that's the other video. All right. So another video
by the History Channel. However, this particular documentary was broadcasted only to the Asian outlets of the History Channel, called History Asia, which are Hong Kong, Indonesia, Macau, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand.
Ever since the earliest days of oceanic exploration, sailors have witnessed strange sights. Really, the awareness of the Bermuda Triangle started with Christopher Columbus being such an esoteric navigator and a well-respected sailor.
Now, hold up. Let's play that one more time.
Ever since the earliest days of oceanic exploration, sailors have witnessed strange sights. Really, the awareness of the Bermuda Triangle started with Christopher Columbus being such an esoteric navigator and a well-respected sailor.
Now, from what you may recall, you were taught to believe that Christopher Columbus looks like this. And if you were to Google images of Christopher Columbus right now, he is depicted to look like this. But if you were to figure out a way to look up information that is presented in other countries, then he would look like this.
Okay. All right. So once again, we just saw the actual artist. He used the same depiction, and he's running with that theme. He's running with that theme. Really irresponsible, by the way. And that theme is that this is a black man, right? And obviously, it's just not true. The whole time he knew the source. He knew the source because he shared the source on the first video, on his first post. I'm going to go one more time, and then we're going to leave this alone. But I just want everybody to see the accuracy and the historic integrity that we're dealing with this Aboriginal gimmick, right? So this is it, right? We know where it's from, right? In terms of if we were to follow up, right? Let's just do this country of ours. Let's go to the table of content. Okay. Chapter 5. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm a little tired, but I can't sleep, so. Okay. So, okay, hold on, y'all. This is. I think this is it right here. Okay. Okay, I said I'm sorry, guys, for having to go through a couple chapters to find it. This right here is from author C. Michael again, and it is called The Crowning of. Okay. And it's very, very clear. It's the same artist, same book. He was able to identify the artist. He has it on his page, and then he also now has a misrepresentation saying it's this 16th century Baroque style painting. He's just misleading our people for profit. And that's what this able gimmick is doing. We just need to be honest about this right here. Just absolutely misrepresenting the history for whatever reason. Who knows? But we gotta hold these people accountable. All right. Let's do another follow up on this. We made some other claims in some other videos. I want to make sure that we touch bases. After that, we're gonna call it a night. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Okay. And we are going to go through the final Dane Calloway claim. And I really want to touch his new video, but I think I'll do that at another time. And once again, what he does is he gets the spooky music going, and you hear the claims, and he's talking about everybody being brainwashed. But meanwhile, he has gross information, just grossly dishonest information on his page. So this right here is another video I want to share. Very, very misleading. Okay. Get some volume.
Only a loser will have the audacity to write a story to make it seem as if they won when they didn't. When they didn't. When they didn't.
It's really important for us to remember our history. You know, unless you're one of the first Americans, you came from someplace else. Somebody brought you.
Let's do that one more time, yeah. Let y'all see this. All right.
As if they won when they didn't. When they didn't. When they didn't.
Let's pause it right there. Okay. And let's stop the screen. All right, so he is showing a picture. This picture went viral. Where is this picture from? We need to hold these people accountable. We need to. And guess what I have? I have the source of that picture and I have the person. All right, so I want to make sure that this is not honest. And when these people, they call themselves historians, they need to know the source of these pictures, right? He's saying that there's a black Aboriginal population, right? This is a picture from 2016. This is Will Wilson, photosynthesis. Right here is Aboriginal. It's not a vintage picture. It's a modern picture that went viral. He just doesn't do the research on the picture. It was part of a project to raise awareness on the indigenous people. It was called the Critical Indigenous Photographic Exchange. Happened in 2016. And we got Modesto right there being misrepresented by the Aboriginal, the so-called Abo community. And we just need to be honest about it, right? So this is one of the things I just want everybody to see this picture. We know not a black boy, right? And if you look at the hair, you look at some of the phenotype, it's really not. We're just at a place where we're being very delusional and very dishonest about what we see in terms of history. So let's back out. Let's see the rest of this video, and we're gonna call it a night. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna play the rest of this Dane Calloway video. We're gonna wrap it up. Okay.
Throughout today's society.
Declaration of Independence, we were landed in Plymouth, we were here. Before abused and scorned, however, much America strays away from the ideals of justice.
All right, so I apologize. I'm not sure what happened. I do see I'm 34 minutes into the video, so I apologize if my internet is acting up. So I'm not sure where that leaves me at in terms of the video. I will share the last portion. Um, so I just played a little bit of Dane Calloway, and he referenced a speech, and the speech was from Martin Luther King, and he referenced the close of the speech. What I want to do is I want to reference the beginning of the speech, so that everybody has some context. So within that speech, he talks about before the Pilgrims arrived, we were here. Before the Star Spangled Banner, we were here. I'm just going to highlight this right here. Okay, and we will try this again tomorrow with better internet and some more rest. Okay, but you can see he starts it off. He said, "You will remember that in the year 1619, the first Negro slaves landed on the shores of the nation. They were brought here from the shores of Africa. Unlike the Pilgrims who landed at Plymouth a year later, they came here against their will." And he goes on to describe the inhumane fashion. And throughout the speech, he talks about how our destiny is tied to the destiny of America, and that is through this unfortunate capture. He never pushed an Aboriginal gimmick. He once again was a proponent of historic integrity, being very honest about history, the parts that you don't like, and he's saying it right here in the speech. That's what the speech is about. Okay, it is not a speech that talks about Aboriginal anything. Right?